Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, but how we're going to fix both of them together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is something that should bring joy to your heart and a smile to your face. The gun controllers are running to cover. They're running to the news, the media, to really explain why it's such a bad idea to do all these pro-freedom policies. This is what we grinded for. We held the line against them when they were coming against our rights, and now we're pushing back, and they know it. Do not go to sleep. Your time to shine is right now. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to spread this freedom from coast to coast and border to border, and thank you in advance for that consideration. Now, guys, one of the things about holding the line in this fight for our freedom, we were on defense for 4 years. Now it's time to go on offense, but I guarantee you the left is going to see the inverse. They're going to move into defense. They're going to start going to blue bastions. They're going to start extrapolating all their red flag laws. They're going to start applying them. They're going to put in different people that can come forward and initiate the safety protocols that they pass in blue states. It's going to happen because they need a win somewhere. That's why I partner with USCCA. They have red flag law protections built in to their actual policies. You've got education. You've got all sorts of coverage should the worst scenario thing possible happen. This is something, it's worth a look. Everything is linked in the description box below, but do not get caught flat-footed when the left, when the very motivated gun controllers start to take power in the blue states. This is something you need to be aware of. There's a link in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for checking that out. And now, let's get over to Katie from Stone Second Sense. Now, I know a lot of you guys are fully aware that I hired Katie to do a shorts channel that's focused all around the 2A, and she blew this one out of the water. This is focusing on the same thing that I'm going to touch on. I'm going to cover a different angle, but listen to her initial report here. This was fire. And on a special note, she's almost at 50,000 subs on her channel. That's a year-end goal that she's had. Please, guys, check her out. She's a link in the description box below. Go over, throw a sub over her way, help her get above her goal, and thank you again for that consideration. Let's hear from Katie on what she said about this report, and she nailed it.
The gun control groups are not happy.
The right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line.
A lot of questions around, is this going to make our community safer? And how is this actually going to impact law enforcement community? I think the biggest threat here is carrying a firearm across state lines without a permit. And a piece that I really want to underscore is law enforcement won't know who has firearms.
I hate to break it to you, but newsflash, they don't know now because criminals are gonna criminal. Anyways, hit that subscribe button. Let's get back.
If you are crossing state lines and you don't have a permit to carry and you're not required to have a permit to carry, law enforcement isn't aware of who has them. And that is one of the biggest risks that it has to our communities.
Well, basically her point is irrelevant because criminals are already going across state lines with firearms they're not even legally able to have in the first place.
Guys, I'm telling you, she nailed that one. She is the next generation of the gun rights fight. Throw a subscribe her way if you enjoyed that and check out all of her content. But she nailed it. Even though criminals can do whatever the heck they want. But don't worry, the concealed carry legislation, that is so terrible. National reciprocity is a recipe for cops not to know who has guns. Because criminals know they have guns. Excellent point by Katie. But now I want to hit something that's really important in a little addition to what she just said. One of the most important pieces that we have to understand in our gun rights fight is, yes, it's about the idiocy of the argument. Yes, it's about defending our freedom when they come after it. But you also have to understand that everything is happening around the political sphere impacts this. For example, watch this. If we didn't cover this stuff and we didn't know, you would be unaware that what this woman is talking about. There's a link in the description for the timestamp. So let's go.
There was always tension around whether this was actually smart and good policy. And that's why we actually saw this type of legislation defeated over and over again in places like Louisiana and in South Carolina and even in Tennessee. Because there was really a lot of questions around, is this going to make our community safer? And how is this actually going to impact law enforcement community?
Hey, you know what's funny? While I get this next timestamp brought up, it's just, I don't know, call me a stickler for details. You know those states that she just mentioned? Louisiana, South Carolina? You know, the ones that passed constitutional carry. She just doesn't mention that. They've been defeated so many times in these states, of which they were then passed. It was Tennessee, South Carolina, and Louisiana. Yeah, those are the newest additions to the constitutional carry movement, of which we have 29 states in the United States now, of which 10 of them, I believe, happened under Biden's term. Yeah, but she didn't mention that. Yeah, they were defeated all the time. Yeah, and then they were passed. Anyway, let's continue. This next one is how we wrap this out, and I'll tie all of this together in a second because it comes down to us paying attention to the entire apparatus, not just when they come after our gun rights fight. Check this out.
The yeas are 231. The nays are 198. The bill is passed without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
This is exactly what we heard and what we saw in 2017, where we were able to actually successfully defeat CCR campaign. It passed through the House. It did not make it through the Senate.
And that part right there is so incredibly crucial to understand for our fight going forward. It passed the House. It did not pass through the Senate.
All right, so joining me now is James Blair.
Sorry.
He will be...
It passed through the House, did not pass through the Senate. Guys, we have the Senate by a large majority. We have the House. It's already passed through the House before. We have the White House, and you have Donald Trump calling for it to be applied nationally. The time is not to go to sleep right now. The time is to take the throttle and push it all the way forward. It's already passed the House prior in the first Trump term. They've got the Senate now, and they've called for it from the White House. This one has a genuine potential to actually become national law. You've got to activate. You have to vote. You did that already. You got to be on the phones. You got to be involved in the political process. The more pressure you apply, the faster this goes through. Think of yourself as the guy pushing everything behind going forward that's never seen, never heard from, except these politicians who know that you're going to be pissed if they don't do what they're supposed to do when Trump introduces this legislation in the House, probably in the first year. Guys, this is the time to shine, and the gun controllers are petrified. They know it's coming. They've only been able to resort to fear-mongering and complete and total half-truths like I just showed you. Everything is linked. Make sure you check out Katie's channel, Stone Second Sense, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.